Hi there, a very warm welcome to Coding Techniques again. A much awaited video I have brought today for you, which is implementing phone-based authentication using Firebase in Ionic application. So many of you have requested for this, and there you go. Today we are going to learn that up. So before starting that up, just a brief information that I want to give you regarding the course, where there is a new coupon that is launched and it's going to expire pretty soon, or I think on 18th it's going to expire. So with that being said, let's dive into this particular video right now. So in this lecture we are going to start with a new project, and I have created this new project as you can see out here. Well, let me just show you up. This is the way I have created a new project, and after creating the project I am using Angular as a framework, and at the very end I am opening up in Visual Studio Code in this particular manner. And after that is done, what I have done is I have used this particular code you can see out here in the SRC folder, and this is my auth screen episode 7. So you can get the link from the description of that particular video, and out there in that particular video you will get the link of the source code. So from there you can download the source code. After that you can see all these files. You simply need to copy these files which I have selected out here, and after you copy it up you just need to paste it in your new project. And remember to delete the app folder from the new project. Otherwise you will have that home page also, which we don't need right now. So it's better that you remove that up and then you paste it up. Alright. Now I have already done that, and you can see out here I have already done Ionic serve and it is up and running. The project is up and running, and now we need to make some changes out here because we are implementing phone-based authentication using Firebase. So we need to set up Firebase and use the phone-based authentication, for which we have to change the UI. So I thought, why not do it for our e-commerce application only, for which auth screens we have already created, but that was for the phone number and password. This time we will be using phone number with OTP. So let's do that up. Quickly I'll go to the app folder, and out here I have the structure sign in, sign up. We don't need sign up out here, so I will remove that up. And within the sign up we have OTP. So I need OTP and sign in screen. So this is my project folder. I have gone inside that, and what I'll do right now, within the sign up folder I will simply cut this particular OTP and paste it out here. And now I'm simply going to remove this sign up page. We don't need sign up, so I'll simply remove it. Don't need to keep any extra thing which is not needed at all. Now I'll simply go to the project again and make some changes out here. In the sign-in module.ts file out here in the declaration, I need to call OTP component so that I can use out here. I'll not create a page. I'll simply use the component which we have created earlier with a little bit of changes I'll do out there. You will come to know in just some time. And now you can see I have imported it up. So this is the import that I have used. You can have the same, or you can just hover on it. If the suggestion comes up, you can do it. Otherwise you can simply copy it up and paste it in your code. That is completely fine because you will follow the same structure only, I think. Alright, so this is done. Now what else do we need to do? We need to go to our, okay fine, there is an error. Alright, there is an error in our OTP because I am using an image out there and it is not getting detected because we have changed the location. So I just need to remove one / / so that it can take the proper path now. Alright, module not found, sign up, that we have to find in our routing. So sign in routing, I simply need to remove this. That's it. Alright, now all the things are sorted. Yes, we have the design out here. Now we need to change this design pretty quickly. Let's go to our sign in page, and out here what I'll do in the HTML, welcome, instead of back, let me just type to local mart. That is just a name that I have given for the e-commerce. You can give any name, your brand name out there, completely up to you. And out here let me pass a color to be white, which is already defined in the theme variable.scss, which I defined while creating the auth screen. So you already have that, as we have already copied everything. So you can check that out there. Or if you want to see, let me just show you quickly out here. Where is it? As you can see, after light color we have the white color, and the class is also defined out here. So everything is working fine. That's great. All right, so this is changed. Now I'll simply change this sign in to get started, because we are not signing in, we are just getting started. So get started, and after that I will have the mobile number, but I'll remove this particular password. I don't need any password out here. Along with that, no forget password, nothing is needed. I'll simply remove all of it. All right, I think that's fine. We need this button just to go ahead for the next screen. So I'll keep this button only, not out here. You can keep it out here also, but I think this design is fine with this particular button. I know it's not making that meaningful, but this kind of a button out here won't look nice. So let's keep it out there only. Now what I'll do, I'll play with some CSS out here. Now in the ion list, I will have some padding bottom, because this is just touching the bottom. I don't need that. I need some padding out there. Let me give it 8 VH. I think that will be better. Now it is fine. It is looking much appropriate right now. And let me change this EM to REM. I think that will be better. And this one to 1 REM I think will be good. And in fact, I'll make it bold also. Font V to be bold. Alright, now it will look nice. I think we are done with this. Not sign in, actually it is the getting started screen. Now once we are done with that, let's move to our OTP screen. Or before going there, I think we need to play around with the TypeScript so that we can redirect out there directly. So this type is not needed, I'll simply remove it. Password not needed, I'll remove it. Then this change type is not needed, that was related to password. And forget password is also not needed, I'll remove it. And out here, let me do everything within the async await and try catch block. Try catch console.log. Any error will log out here. Alright, so we will be doing some functionality, that is why I'm writing out here. So now in order to go to the OTP screen, let me just try it out. Later on we will have some functionality also out here. But to go to that, I have to use model controller, because I'm using it from the TypeScript. So I have to use model controller. Otherwise, I could have used the inline model also. But let's do it from here. For that, I will be creating a constant called options, which will be of type model options. But for that, I need to use model controller at first. In my constructor, I need to inject it up. So let me give private model ctrl of type model controller. And it is imported, I think, automatically. Yes, it is imported. Now I need out here model options, and I'll import it up, and you can see it got imported out here. And once that is done, which will be equals to, now out here I'll pass few options. First one will be the component which I need to call. That will be the OTP component. So it is also imported automatically. Fine. Then I need to pass some data, which will be my phone number, because you never know, we might need that. So I'll pass out here as an object. I'm going to pass phone, this dot form dot value dot phone. That's how we get the value when we are using the reactive forms. Alright, this two data only I need to pass, nothing else. And if you're using iPhone, then you need swipe to close, set to true. Alright, that's fine. I think we are done with the options. Now we need to simply call our constant. Model will be equals to this dot model ctrl dot create, and within the create I'll pass these options. That's it. And after it is done, we need to show the model, and for that we need to use model dot present function. Alright, we need to use the await in this particular manner to call this up. That's fine. And after that is done, if we need to look at some data when the model is dismissed, you can use a constant of where you're passing an object data. In this particular manner, we can pass an object. So it will read model dot on will dismiss, or on did dismiss, whichever you want, you can have that up. And as soon as it gets dismissed, it's going to pass some data, and which will be triggered out. Alright, what is wrong out here? Let me pass it in this particular manner of type any. I think that will be better. Alright, so now this is done. If I click on it, let's see what happens. I have to pass the phone number, otherwise I'll get an error. Let's see. Yes, we are getting the error. That's perfect. Let me pass a phone number. Any number I'm passing. Okay, it is not opening up. Let me see what is the thing. Now here I'm getting an error. Okay, no provider for ng control found in. Where is it? I think there is an error in OTP, most probably. Doesn't seem so. Alright, in our HTML we have some errors. Okay, that is happening because I have not called out here Well, it was in sign up. We need actually forms module for solving this problem. Let me just show you up. I think that's going to be pretty interesting for you. Out here I'm using reactive forms. So if you want to use that up, you need to use forms module also. All right, when I do that up, now you can see the error is gone if you still want to use that up. But what am I going to do? I don't need any of those actually, because this was done earlier and I won't be using the same thing again. So now what am I going to do? I'll simply remove all of these columns. All right, let me remove it up. Not needed. And along with that, in the TypeScript, I am simply going to remove this OTP string. This also I'll remove it, not needed. We might not need toast controller. I'll keep it for the time being. Loading controller, I don't think we need that up. Or let me keep it. We'll remove it later on if not needed. And this one I'll remove it. Then this OTP also I'll remove it. Show loader also I'll remove it. Or we can keep show loader, because after the OTP is entered, we can show a loader and redirect to some other place. Now verify OTP. All right. Let me remove all these functions which are not needed. So we have hide loader and show loader function. With this OTP function is also not needed. I'll remove it. I think everything is fine now. We don't need this view child. I'll remove that also. And now in this design, what am I going to do? I'm going to use, for the OTP inputs, I'll be using ng-otp-input package. So let me just show you up. So out here, ng-otp input package, we are going to use that up. We open it out here and we need to install it up. So I'll simply copy it and install it out here. For that, I'll open another PowerShell this particular manner and paste it out here. While this is getting installed, what we are going to do, let's go out here, and this is how it's going to work. So this is what we need in the import in the module. So I'll simply copy it up and have it in my sign in module, because this is a component OTP one, there is no module in that, and if you want to use it up, I need to pass it in sign in module. So I'll pass it out here in the import and simply going to copy it up, and after the sign in module I'll paste in this particular manner. Now we are good to use this particular package. It is also installed. Now how do we use that up? For using, I'll go to the OTP component HTML file, and out here, instead of this iron row, let me use a div out here, and to which I'll not pass this iron text center. Instead, I will have a line to center, and I have not shown you the OTP screen as of now. I've just forgot before removing. I think I should have shown you. But if you haven't removed, you can see that particular screen so that you can understand, okay, fine, what all things we have done, or you can see the intro also of that particular video to understand what all things we have designed. But anyways, after passing the phone number, let me give it again. And this time, this is the screen that we have for the OTP. Now we need to design this up. So for designing this up, well, what I'll do, I have defined a div out here, align to center. In this particular div, I'm going to use something component ng-otp-input, which we just installed. So this is the component that is available in that particular package. And in this particular component, I'm going to break it down. First of all, on input change. So this is basically an input. Whenever you are changing some input, it's going to trigger. So we need to get the string. That is how it works. And out here I'm going to pass on OTP change. It's going to detect that up. And out here I'm going to pass the event that will get triggered, which will hold our string. And this function I'm going to create out here. All right, let me create at the very end. OTP change, or what was it? On OTP change, right? Yes. On OTP change function. Within that I'm going to pass the event. All right. So this is done. Now we need to detect the particular OTP, which is a string. So OTP, I'll create a string out here globally, so that I can use directly out here and get the particular value. So now this dot OTP will be equals to the event that is getting triggered. Now if I simply console this dot OTP, we will see what do we get out there. Fine. And now I'm going to try that up by just passing some random string. See what happens. All right, let me pass a number, any number I can pass. It will only accept 10 numbers. So this is the design that we have got. And out here, let me pass 1, 2, 4, or 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I have passed 4 times. And you can see this is a string. This is the OTP value that we are getting out there. So that everything is working pretty fine. But out here for the Firebase, we will get 6 digit code, I think, as far as I know. So we need 6 out here. How can we do that up? Well, this is pretty simple. If you are using this particular component out here, I need to simply pass config, and I'm going to have a variable out here, property, actually global property of config. We define it out here quickly, config, which will be equals to an object where I'm going to pass length to be 6. You can change it to 4 or any length you want. And I also want allow numbers only, because I want only the numbers, not alphabets. So I'll set it to true. Along with that, I will also do some styling on that. So I'll put use input class for that particular input, and I'm going to name the class as OTP input style. Now, how am I getting all these properties which we need to define within this? Let me just show you. So if I go to this particular package, if you just scroll down, these are the APIs that you can use, which we have already passed as the attribute out there. And these are the configuration options that you can pass: length, input styles, input class, what all it means. It is already defined out here in the description. You can check that out. So all these things you can use as per your requirement. All right, so that is what I have done. You can just go through this particular documentation and you will understand each and everything. Now, going back to our code quickly, we need to define this particular style. So in my SCSS only I can do it, I think. All right, let's scroll down. This is not needed. This row, I'll simply remove it because we are not using it anymore. And out here, I'll change this 0.9 REM. I think this one also 1.8 REM will be better. Let's use REM everywhere, not EM. Or this one will be EM will be better, I think. Let it be. Only this one I'll change the ion label. And at the very end, all right, I could have defined out here, but I don't think it's going to work, as we have seen previously also. Whenever we implement some package, third-party packages, all the CSS stylings it takes from the global.scss. So we need to define everything from the global.scss. Thank God I just recalled that up. Otherwise, if defining out there won't change it out. So dot for the class OTP input style. And in this particular class, what we are going to apply, well, I need a font size to be bigger. So I'll pass 1.5 REM font size. Along with that, I'll pass a background color to be light of that particular input. And in this particular manner, I'm going to pass it up --ion color light. Then everything to be displayed in inline. All right, even if you don't give it, I think it's gonna be fine. And the width and height is very important. I'll give it 6.5 VH as the width, and height also to be the same, 6.5 VH. At last, the border radius of 5 pixel will enhance our design a bit more, which you are going to just look at right now. So let me just type anything and hit this button. Now this is the design which we have changed as of now. I think you should look at it in some other phones. I think Pixel 5 is fine. Yeah. All right. In this phone you can see properly, or even let's go to other one which will zoom a bit more. Let's say Galaxy S5. I think will be better, much better, I think. Yes, this is more zooming one. So I'm just typing any number and this is fine. All right. I'm happy with this design. It's quite visible and properly and looking nice, right? If you type some code, the code is also visible. All right, so this designing is done. Nothing else we need to do. I'll simply remove this, not needed. Now, what else do we need to do? We need to design a little bit more out here in our OTP screens, which is for the resend button and also for submitting it. And for that, what am I going to do? I'll close this ion item and I'll use another ion item out here where lines will be none. Of course, we don't need any line. And I'll pass a class to it, ion margin horizontal, because we need some margin on the left and right side so that it can look pretty same design only, or in the same level that we have earlier. Now within this, what do we need? Well, I will have an ion text, or let me use an ion button. I think will be better. Let me use that up. Ion button, where fill will be clear, color will be, let's give primary color only, which is a bluish color as of now, I think. And within this button, I'm simply going to type resend OTP. All right. And I'll give out here to the slot to be start so that it can appear on the left side, because it is LTR. So left side, it's going to appear. Then there will be a click event. If you click on that particular button, you will have a function. Let me call it resend function. All right, let's define it out here quickly. Resend function, and we will have another button. For that we will have another thing, and let me have a verify function, also verify OTP function out here, that will also be needed for the other button that we are going to just have it right now. Alright, so after this button I'm going to have another button which will be our IronFab button, because I want a rounded button this time. IronFab button, don't worry, you will see the design just in a moment once we complete this up. So I have given the slot to be end, that will appear on the right side in case of LTR. Color will be danger, that's our theme actually. And let me pass a click event for which we have already created the function verify OTP. Alright, within this fab button, what am I going to have? I'm going to have an icon whose name will be arrow forward outline. Let's check it out quickly now. I'll type some number out here, go to the next screen, and this is the design that we have out here. This particular button, recent button, this particular button which will take us forward. So that's what we have out here. If I click on this back button, model will get dismissed. Everything is working fine out here according to me. Now it's time to apply the functionality to all these things, whatever is needed. For that, we need to set up the Firebase, which I have already shown you. You can see the link at the right corner, top right corner. You will see that particular link. You can go to that particular video and learn how to set up the Firebase. But I'll show you few things which you can understand. Or if you don't understand, you can just look at that particular video to understand it up. So let me just go to the Firebase quickly. I'll go to the console. And out here I have a lot of projects. You can add a new project out here. This is my project LocalMart, which I have created for this particular video. And this is pretty new. And I'll go to the project settings. So I've created a web app. And this is the configuration that you need to have in your particular project, which I'm going to show you how to set it up. Don't need to worry. But this is what you need to pass out there. Alright, remember that. Once the creation of this project is done in this particular manner, you can check it out here. Now I need to go to the authentication part, which is this one. I'll go out here. Once your project is created, you have to go out here, and out here, well, I have already done this sign up. Let me just go to the sign in methods out here. So I've enabled this thing up. If it is not enabled, if I just edit it up, in this particular manner, you will get some email, password or phone number. You just select the phone number and out here just enable it up. Alright, once enabled, save it. That's it. That's what you need to do. And if I go to delete one, well, if I delete this up, let me just see. Let me delete it up. Alright, let me show you again. So this is the sign in methods which I have. I'll simply select this phone and I'll enable it up, save it, and it's done. Alright, now it is enabled. We can simply use it up. Alright, once that is done, we are good to go. And all the things that we need in our project, and let's do that up quickly. So for that, I will go to the project folder out here. And in here, at first, if you don't have Firebase tools, you need to install it up. For that, you need to use the command npm install or simply npm i-g. If you haven't installed it globally, you need to install that up globally. Then Firebase tools. Let me just show you. Alright, I just run this command again, but I don't need to. I think it was already installed. I just forgot. That is why I rerun it up. But if you have it installed, you don't need to run it again. This was mainly used to use this Firebase command directly. So we are using this Firebase login command now, or Firebase init actually. We need to init it up. We need to initialize the Firebase project out here. But for initializing it up, first of all, we need to log into that. So Firebase login. Alright, I'm getting an error out here. What is that? Okay, PS1 file. I have to go to this particular location. Well, this error comes because of the PowerShell. Not a very big problem. I'll just go out there and remove this firebase.ps1 file. And now I think we are good to use it up. Alright, let me rerun the command again. And as it is saying that I'm already logged in, now I can simply use this Firebase init to initialize the Firebase project out here in this particular project. It will install all the necessary Firebase files that we need for carrying the particular project. Proceed. Yes, I want to proceed. And what all things do I need? I don't need a real-time database, so I'll skip that up. I'll select Firestore. We are not working with it, but you can select that up. Firebase functions, if you are using that up, you can select that up. I'll keep it, but we won't be using it up as of now. Hosting, we are not using that up. No. Storage, you can keep that. If you're using Firebase emulator for checking few things, you can have that up. I've shown in my course how to use all of it. If you want, you can check my course also. Remote configuration, we are not using that. Real-time database, again, not using. So whatever you are using, whatever you want to use, you can just select that up. If you don't want to use anything, you can have it later on also using the same command Firebase init, and the only things that you want, just select it up. All right, let me hit enter, choose an existing project. Yes, I'll select this local mart and it's going to set up automatically. We don't need to do anything. All right, there is an error. Okay, it is saying that I haven't used Cloud Firestore in this project. So what I'll do now, I have two options. Either I can initialize the Firebase Firestore out there in the project, or I can skip this. So let me hit this Firebase init again and I'll proceed. And this time I'm not going to select anything because I'm not using any of those right now. So I'll just hit enter. That's it. Okay, you must select at least one feature. Okay, fine. This is something which I haven't tried earlier actually. I've always used it for some purpose only. Okay, let me use the Firestore one. I think that's gonna be fine. And storage also, emulator also, I'll keep it. Alright, so what I'll do now, I'll go out here to the Firestore database, and out here I'll create a database. Starting production, well, I'll start in test mode where we will have this particular rules only, so it differs only in the rules as you can see out here. Alright, so that's what I'm going to have, or yeah, test mode is fine. Firestore location, you can change the location if you want. Let me keep it as it is for the timing. Alright, now it is created. I don't think we will have this error again. Let's check the storage also. Alright, storage is there, so not a problem. I think we are good to go. Let's try it again. I'll just hit enter, choose an existing project, local mart. Hopefully I won't get any errors this time. Okay, Firestore rules, you can keep the same files, just hit enter. If you want to change the name, you can just type the name, latest name that you want. I'll hit enter out here also. Error fetching Firestore index, because there are no indexes actually, that is why it is getting an error most probably. So we still need to run this again. Oh my goodness, it's giving me a little harder time, but let's try it again. The last time only Firestore I'm going to select this time, nothing else. Choose an existing project. It doesn't happen quite often. I don't know why this is giving me this problem. You can just check that particular video where I've shown it completely and it was working pretty nicely. Hit enter. Yes, I want to override it. Hit enter, and now this time it is complete. Thankfully it is done. All right, now we have all the files properly done. That's what I want. After this is done, we need to install the @angular/fire package, @angular/fire package. And for using this up, let me just open this up. Let me just show you. You have to run this command, and this ng, if you want to use this ng, you have to install the Angular CLI in this particular manner. Globally, you have to install it up. Otherwise, you won't be able to use this particular command. All right, just remember this up. So first install the Angular CLI if you haven't installed that earlier. All right, using this particular command. Out here directly in this project also you can do it. Out here I have installed it up, so I won't do it again. You can just pass the command out here and hit enter. It will install globally as -g is written out there. And after that, you can simply run this command. It's going to detect the ng command directly. Fine. Meanwhile, that is getting installed. I'll create a service out here. Ionic service, and I'll create a services folder directly passing the services up out here. Within that, I will have an auth folder, and out there I'm going to have the auth service out, where we are going to implement all the functionality things that we are going to use for signing in with phone number. Okay, meanwhile our service is created. This command is still running. We have to wait for a while until it finishes. Alright, out here it is asking me for selecting what all things I need. I don't need ng deploy, so I'll just hit space. It's going to remove. Authentication we need Firestore, nothing else is needed as of now, so I'll just simply hit enter. That's it. Alright, log into an account. Yes, I need to use the same account. Local mart, yes. I'll select local mart because that is a project I have created for the web. And I think everything is set up in my environment variables. Let me just check it out. I'll show you. Out here, as you can see, this is properly set up automatically. And in PROD also it is set up. So you can see how it is working automatically. And in the environment, sorry, not in the environment, in the app.module.ts file also, I have all the configuration that is needed. Let me just break it down the imports. Now you can see this is for the Firebase. Everything is being done. Whatever we have asked them to install for the authentication, they have done that up get auth, get firestore. If you could have gone for storage also, it could have done for the same. And this configuration, everything is done automatically. We don't need to do anything out here. And we're good to use this up now. And the Firebase is also installed automatically if you're using this particular package at Angular/Fire. Now let's go to our auth service and use this particular package directly. So at first I'm going to start with constructor. I'll inject private, let me pass auth, or should I give any other name? Let me give _fire auth. Any name you can pass out here. And I'll just get the authentication from at Angular/Fire/auth, because I want all the packages to be installed from the at Angular/Fire package. Once that is done, I'll create a function out here called signing with phone number, and we will pass the phone number out here. Alright, so this is the function that we need, and let's do everything within the try catch block. So I'll use async out here and try catch in this particular manner. If there is any error, I'll simply throw the error, that's it. And in the try block, well, what am I going to do out here? I'm simply going to use sign in. This, you can see the suggestion is coming up. Oh, not this one actually. Sign in, I have to get it with phone number from the package at Angular/Fire/auth. This is the one that we need. This is modular Firebase 9, so we need to use in this particular manner. And out here it accepts auth, so I'll pass this ._fire auth that we have injected, the auth one. Second one is the phone number that we need to pass, and the third one is the app verifier. All right, application verifier, that is basically the reCAPTCHA which we got that will verify our application. So we don't want to show the reCAPTCHA out there. So what am I going to do out here? Just wait a while, let me just show you up. So out here, let me create another function called reCAPTCHA, reCAPTCHA, I think this is the spelling of it. Now out here, let me just declare a property called app verifier, all right, of type any, and within this dot app verifier will be equals to new reCAPTCHA verifier from Firebase auth. I'll get it from Firebase auth. Okay, it is not imported or what, or I think we can get it from at Angular package also. Let me do it from there only. All right, we got it, and this will be holding an ID. So let me pass an ID out here, which I'll show you where we are going to implement that up. So sign in button or reCAPTCHA, sign in reCAPTCHA. Let me give sign in button only. Sign in button, comma, any name you can pass, any ID you can pass, which you are going to pass it out there in the HTML, which I'm going to show you, don't need to worry. And out here some options you need to pass, such as size will be invisible, as in this way you have to pass. Otherwise it's going to go for the reCAPTCHA. It's going to show you up and you have to fill that up again and you have to work with that. So this is a different procedure if you are going for the reCAPTCHA. But out here we don't need to see the reCAPTCHA. That is why we are giving as invisible out. Then there will be a callback. So if you want some callback functionality, then you can pass it out here. All right. So out here I don't need to do anything. I'll simply use it for consoling the response. That's it, and nothing else. And at last I will pass expired callback. Well, this is also optional. I think if you don't pass it, still it's going to work. Out here also I won't do anything, just an empty one. All right. Once that is done, we are getting an error. That is because I have to pass out here this ._fire auth in this particular manner, and the error is gone. All right. So this is our reCAPTCHA, which is nicely done. Now I need to pass this app verifier out here, this .app verifier. That's it. And at the very beginning, I will use an await out here, constant. I'll name it as confirmation result will be equals to this particular value. All right. And the next line that we are going to implement, after this particular line, I'm simply going to return it. That's it. Return confirmation result. That is it. So I'm simply passing the value that whatever I'm getting, and if you have any error, I'm simply throwing the error. That's it. Pretty simple and precise, right? And also I want to check out here, well, for resending, what we are going to do is we are not going to send the reCAPTCHA again. All right. So because we already have the reCAPTCHA, we will already have the reCAPTCHA. So I will check out here if this .app verifier does not exist. All right. Then I'm simply going to call that particular function this .reCAPTCHA. All right, that is what I'm going to do. And in doing this in this particular manner, how it will go, it will help us. Let me just show you. But first of all, we need to go to the sign in HTML. I was talking about that ID. We need to pass that particular ID, and I'm going to pass that as soon as the form starts. You can pass it anywhere, I think, but I'll pass it out here within the form, and I'll pass this ID out here, sign in button. All right. Okay, that's great. I think everything is ready. Just the thing that I need out here in the TypeScript, before opening the model, we need to implement our auth service, and for that I need to inject it out here. So private auth service, and import it out. Once imported, you're good to use it out here. Before all of it out here, you can use it up simply. Constant response will be equals to await this dot auth dot sign in with phone number. And we need to pass out here the phone number, but we cannot pass directly the phone number. We have to pass the country code also direct with that, with the phone number. So out here, I have not applied anything for the country code. So I'll pass it directly. As I live in India, so I'll pass +91 is my country code. What is yours? You can pass that country code out here, or you can have some design way directly. You can pass it out here. You can just have the select option also if you want. But for the time being, I'll keep it in this particular manner, and I'll pass the phone number out here. This dot form dot value dot phone. All right, I think I'm done with this. Let me enlarge it and show you properly. So this is what I have implemented, and at last I'm simply going to console the response. Okay, and if we have any error, I'm going to console that also. You can take some action also regarding that, but I don't think we need that right now. And out here, even if you want something on this dismiss, and you can simply have this in console log. That's gonna be fine, appropriate, right? All right, so all the things are set up. We are good to check that out. And if you want to implement it up in your OTP, we will check that out once we implement this thing. So let me just pass a number out here. I have passed my number, and I'll just hit this button. You will be able to see it out here. I'm just hiding the number because I cannot share it, right? And if you even look at that, you won't be able to call it because this is not the number which I use. So I'll just hit this button, and you can see the phone number is showing up. Along with that, you can see this thing, and out here, okay, you just missed out. If you missed out, there was a reCAPTCHA. I got the message also, and this is the confirmation thing that I'm getting out here on confirmation verification ID. So I'm getting few data out here. All right, and out here I can pass that code simply. Now if I just click on this back button, you can see this thing is coming up. This is particularly the protected by reCAPTCHA. So this is coming up because we are using it in the web. If you use it for Android, you have to do some things. Let me just give you a clear-cut idea what things you need to do out here. Okay, let's go to project settings, and out here you need to register an Android or iOS application. So if you are going for Android, let's say, you have to pass your package name, you have to pass the nickname, and you have to pass this particular fingerprint which you will get when you're signing up. All right, and after signing up, you will get a key, and you have to break down the key using some commands, and you will get that particular fingerprint. You have to pass the fingerprint out here. Once you do that up, it is registered. The Google safety net will understand, okay, fine, this app is verified. It is good to use, and it's going to allow you to use it up without showing this particular reCAPTCHA thing out here. All right, you can try that up. So it will show up for the time being out here as you are using it in the web, like I say. Anyways, not a problem. Let's now work with our OTP screen. As we have already implemented this up, it is working pretty smoothly. And remember one more thing, if I forgot later on, that if you're typing the same number again and again going for the OTP, well, it will give you some error saying that you are asking for too many requests. So remember that don't go for OTPs too many times on the same number. If you're using the same number, you have to change the number to get the OTP again if you get that kind of an error. Now in the resend function, what am I going to do? Out here also, let me use async await and try catch. In the catch, I'm simply going to console log set, and the try block, well, let me copy it up from the sign in page only. I'll be using the same thing only out here also. All right, copied. In the OTP, let me paste it out here. Fine. And I need to inject this particular auth service out here also. In the constructor, as we are not using loading, and you can keep it. If you want to use it, you can have it. I'll leave it up to you. Let me use this particular service. and import it out. Now, once this is imported, we're good to use it. All right, everything is done out here. Now for the verification also, let me apply the functionality, then we will go for resending and checking the verification also. So out here also I'll use a sync wait, and let me just simply copy this up and paste it out here. Well, there will be few changes which we are going to implement in our service out here at first. So out here I'll create another function which will be same as this one. We'll simply copy the whole stuff, and out here I'll paste it and change this function to verify OTP, and I'll pass out here the OTP. Now within this I need the confirmation result, so definitely what I need it globally out here, confirmation result of type any, and I'll initialize this thing out here. This dot confirmation result, it will be equals to this particular confirmation result. Fine. Okay, now I'll access it up out here. How? This dot confirmation result dot confirm function I can use out here, where I'm going to pass the code or OTP actually. Fine. Then this will be await, and I will have a constant called result which will hold its value, and I'll simply console the value out here of the result. And within this result I already know, so I am just telling you up. I'll create a constant called user which will hold the result dot user. Alright, within the result we have the user which will hold this particular user. You can check it out here if you want. Alright, in this particular manner you can see the user also. I'm just giving it up. You will see it in result what all data we are getting, and if there is any error I'm simply going to throw that particular error. You can even throw the message also within this. So let me just pass out here message message. I think that will be better. We have an error out here in the OTP. What is it? Okay, this dot form dot value, because I'm just passing the props out here, and in order to use that particular props out here in our component, we need to use add input, and the within the object I have passed phone out there. So I'll simply use in this particular manner phone. That's it. And I need to import it up. Alright, this is imported. We are good to use it. Out here I think I have already given just now. And in the verify OTP, what I need to use, I don't need anything. This dot verify OTP, and I'll pass this dot OTP out there. That's it. And other things will remain the same. No need to change anything else. We're just consoling everything up. I think everything is set, and the last thing I need to try is to pass my number and try it again. This time with the real OTP, we are going to check it out. Alright, let me go for it, and meanwhile I'll open this up also. Alright, I have got the message, and let me type the message out here, or the OTP, which is 850046 I think, and I'll hit on this particular button. Alright, we have got the data. As you can see, this is the result which we have consoled, and this is the user. Within this we have it out here, which I have consoled it out here also. What is this? Okay, there is no response to it. That's properly fine. So all the data is coming and everything is working fine. You can clear this data also if you want. I'll leave it as it is. Now I just need to check the resend part. Alright, so I'll just clear it up and let me hit on resend. Right, so let's try it. Resend, and this is working. I got the message again. Let me try that up. So I'll simply remove all of it and try the new string, which is 1 2 1. Alright, I'll hit this button. Let's check it out, and this is working again. That's great. Alright, so everything is working according to me. Fine. So this is how we have successfully implemented the phone-based authentication using Firebase into our Ionic application nicely, and we have checked the resend functionality also with a nice design. You have seen how it actually works. Many of you requested for this particular video, and I hope I have done justice with what you have asked. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you're new out here. That will help the channel grow and will boost me up to make more interesting videos for you all. So thank you very much for watching this video. See you next time.